Alright, what's happening guys? Max Kazik here. In today's video we're going to be talking about the overall market, my whole portfolio and what has happened in the market so far. A lot of people are calling this a crash. Now, we didn't have an actual stock market crash, guys. We had what is called a turnover. So we basically had a massive sell-off of tech. That also includes crypto such as Bitcoin and ETH. We had a massive turnover into the recovery stock. So you've seen a lot of people are taking profits from all these tech based companies that had a massive run up. They were just going up and up and up for months on end. And eventually this had to stop. And this is why we had a small little mini crash. Now, last week, guys, around Thursday and Friday, we had, the market was generally down, not like massively down, but like 1 to 2% on Tesla. I actually bought quite a few shares then, so I can afford that this might end and we might be going up the next week. So Monday comes, the open was terrible. We were down about over 12% on our whole portfolio, and this is where you should have a diversified portfolio. Now, I don't like to invest like this because I don't want to be too diversified, because it's very hard to generate wealth from being over diversified. When you concentrate, guys, you can actually build wealth a lot quicker if you pick a few companies, and also this allows you to actually know a lot more about each company. If you have 15 to 20 stocks in your portfolio, it's very difficult for you to track all the earnings reports, all the news around it. It can become your full-time job, basically. And I already have a full-time job, so I can't actually afford to do that. Now, if I want to actually build something, I'll prefer to concentrate on a couple of stocks and keep an eye on those stocks. So this is why my portfolio might drop very drastically. Now, the next day, we were actually down again, 13%. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, if we had another day like that, I would literally be down overall on just over 2 years of investing. It would just all collapse. But that is absolutely fine, guys. We didn't see a massive pullback on the S&P, on the Dow or the Nasdaq. It didn't crash that much, and what we saw was basically a turnover. So this is very common in the stock market, and you have to not freak out and just keep buying the dip. So what do you actually do in this sort of situation? When we have those prices of, let's say, Tesla and Upwork and like all your favorite stocks that you've been buying, you're getting them at a discount, basically. So let's say that Nike has a discount at the store. You don't go, oh my God, no, we have to sell everything. You go out there and you buy more Nike, right? Because they have a discount. Now, the same goes for stocks. If you see them drop and they're a good company, there is nothing fundamentally wrong with the actual company, you will want to buy a lot more of that stock at the cheaper price. Now, this is why I preach to always have about 30% of your whole portfolio in cash, so you are prepared during those downturns that you can actually invest a lot more money. Now, I can afford that, we might not have that big of a crash, and I bought a lot more Tesla shares, last week, basically coming to Friday, and I didn't have much money left to actually pour into the stock market. So I ended up just holding and not buying the dip, even though I wanted to. Because I wouldn't sell out of my positions at a loss, because most of my positions are actually good companies that I would want to hold long term. I got rid of all my SPACs. I got rid of all of my penny stocks, which I used to hold way before, like about 3 weeks before, because I just didn't feel comfortable with holding that long term. And it kind of went against my actual strategy. And my strategy in the stock market and overall as an investor is to buy and hold long term. Buy and hold very good companies, and the same goes for real estate, and that is something that I'm trying to get into at the end of this year, potentially, to start building my portfolio there. So let's have a look at my portfolio and see how much we're down. Alright guys, so Tesla is bounced back. Today we're up just over 4%. Upwork, again, one of my long-term holds. I'm holding this company long-term. We're up over like 200%, not 2000. on this, so we're like 3x our money. Now, I used to actually have a bigger investment in Upwork. I've sold quite a lot of my shares to buy more Tesla stock. It actually ended up a better investment overall. So I kind of wish I, just kept my shares, but we still have about 100 shares of Upwork, which is great. So let's go on to Tesla and just kind of see where we're sitting at. So this is kind of the chart, the 6-month chart of Tesla. So of course we have 300, that's about 6 months ago, and we run up all the way until $883 per share. Now, I've actually bought shares of Tesla at $850 as well. The first share that I bought was like, I believe was around... So the first shares that I've actually bought and kept of Tesla were at around 170 to about 300. And I just held those shares for a long time. So this is basically what happened, guys. So on Thursday, I bought a little bit more shares. On Friday, I bought a little bit more shares. And then I basically, was out of cash, and then boom, massive drop. And I basically missed that dip. So this is a perfect example, guys. Keep at least 30% of your money in cash. So when the dip comes, you have the money to deploy and go to work. Okay, moving on to other stocks, guys. We've got MSTR, MicroStrategy up today 14%. Enphase is up 5%, so slowly recovering. You got CRISPR not really doing too well, only up 1% today. Bloom Energy only 5%, guys, and it was down quite a lot throughout Monday and Tuesday. We got Lemonade slowly picking up 3% today, and of course my crypto ADA is doing very well so far. It hasn't actually pulled back as much as ETH and Link. They were down the most on those days, so ADA is quite an interesting one that I want to look into a little bit more, and potentially, maybe buy a little bit more ADA in the future. And now let's have a look at my actual portfolio, how much we're actually up to this day. So with a heavy tech portfolio like I have, I basically lost over 7 grand in like 2 days. So you have to be ready for that. And if you can't stomach that sort of loss, have a diversified portfolio when it's not going to move as much, because if you're gonna be very emotional in the market, guys, you will sell. And one of my friends actually texted me saying that he sold most of his stocks, and I was just like, bro, no, don't do that. Like that's the opportunity now to actually buy more stocks. But anyhow, so the portfolio is looking, not the greatest, but we have recovered a little bit. So far you can see that, massive crash from like here we were at just 19.3, and we went down quite significantly now to about, 16 grand. Now we're up to about 17,800. So it's not too bad, but it's also not the best. So Bloom Energy to this day, we are down 30%, which is massive drop, guys. Okay, so next stock again, guys, CRISPR, just having a very rough time, guys. Down so much. Every single day the stock is dropping. We haven't really recovered at all, guys. Like we're up only 1% today. But that is something I'm going to hold long term again. Then we have Enphase slowly recovering. Now we're only down 6% on this, which is not too bad. And Enphase again, long term, I love this company, so I would potentially buy a lot more shares, but I didn't have any money to actually deploy. When I saw Enphase at 167, that's a buy. So next stock is Lemonade, down about 15%, so not too bad. We are slowly recovering as well. And let's have a look at MicroStrategy. So with MSTR, guys, what I wanted to do is I didn't want to buy too much Bitcoin because I already hold quite a lot of crypto in general. I wanted to have some exposure to Bitcoin, without having to pay loads of taxes when I actually go and sell that Bitcoin. You have to keep in mind that you have to pay capital gains tax on all the crypto that you hold if it's over 12.3K. That's what you're allowed to hold in the UK, and the rest, you're going to have to pay taxes on that. So with this one, you can see that I bought in at the dip, and then obviously I was hoping it's going to go back up, and then we just obviously had a massive sell-off, so now it's down quite significantly. And then we have our two main conviction stocks. So these are the stocks that I believe in the best. And it's quite funny, guys, how, you know, it turns out that the stocks that you believe in the most are actually the best stocks, and they perform the best as well. So ideally, I could have just put in a lot more money into those two stocks that I truly believe in, and you know, like I would have been so much better off, but I didn't do that. So let's not talk about that. Tesla is recovering very, very nicely today, up 4%, as we spoke before. We're still up over 29% on my original investment. You have to keep in mind that 3.5% will be taken off as the foreign exchange fee. Every single time you invest in the US company, you will pay that FX fee. And Upwork, we're up just over 192. And keep in mind, guys, at the highest level, we were up like over 240% with Upwork. And that is a long-term hold. So that is pretty much it, guys. We are going to be watching the markets over the couple of days because things will get quite interesting. We see what is going to happen if we will actually recover, or we might have, you know, like slow bleeding, which basically would mean that stocks will jump back up a little bit but then reverse quite a lot more, and then they will jump back a little bit and then like down pressure. We see what's going to happen. I can't see a stock market crash happening at this moment. However, what my plan is with my portfolio is to basically allocate a lot more capital into the companies that I believe in long term, whereas I wouldn't want to really be investing in something more speculative. So you might see me potentially selling out of a few positions and moving money over to the highest conviction stocks, and also keeping at least 30% of my portfolio in cash. That is pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the like button if you made it till the end. Comment down below, let me know what you want to see in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, we see you guys in the next video. Peace.